Hey, what's up everyone? This is Maken Changez, and today we have Brown Thug, also known as Miguel. Hi Miguel, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, your childhood, born and raised, where your parents from?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Mexico, Durango, ranch from the city. So, my childhood was different, different than most because dealing with alcoholism, dealing with family members that are real violent, real violent individuals. But, I was a regular kid, growing up, trying to just, keep that innocence alive, because I remember from 4 years old to 10 years old.
Do you?
That's like my first phase of that I call it, because I had to go back and think like, why are you acting certain ways,
Yeah.
So, 4 or 5 years old, going to kindergarten, and you come into an understanding of what's going on around you,
Yeah.
And I started seeing a lot of drinking, parents hanging out, domestic violence.
Yeah.
Grandma saying, it's okay, it's okay if he hits you, he loves you, those type of things, And for me, being a little kid, coming into that understanding is like, that's not okay,
You guys lived with your grandmother?
No, we within the same city, everybody was there.
Okay.
My whole family was there. Aunties, nephews, uncles, but they all drank, My uncles drank. My father was the main one. Getting lost for weeks. So as a little kid, I understood, how it feels to have parents like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, to speed it up a little bit more, 8, 9, 10, it got so severe to the point where, my mom had enough. My mom didn't want to deal with that. She set us down. She's like, make a choice, me or your father.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have a older sister, a younger brother, but my sister became my second mom. So that's
I can relate.
That's automatic, that's automatic. After 10 years old, we made that choice. We're little kids.
Yeah.
We don't know better. So we make that choice, and it takes me back because, see, going back, we have traumas. Mm-hmm. So going back is reliving everything that you're going through.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of my things that when I speak about it to other people in meetings, it takes me back. It gets me nervous, but excited at the same time because it might help somebody.
Yeah.
So 10 years old, moved, came to LA. When we came to LA, it's a whole new playground.
This whole time you're living in Mexico,
yes.
And now you're in LA. Okay, got it.
So it's a whole cultural change from childhood, dealing with my whole family being violent and alcoholics, a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
That's why I deal with adults trained children of alcoholics, because that type of trauma manifests years later in life. I mean, without you noticing,
right?
As soon as you're doing the same things they were doing, displaying the same behavior the conduct, attitude. Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand it, but as I go, when we came to LA, my mother was the rock. She was the rock, the pillar,
Yeah.
So being the pillar, then she crumbled. My house was filled with gang members, drug dealers.
How did that happen?
It happened out the blue. We moved to South Central LA, right? Mm-hmm. Living on the block. My sister's very appealing, pretty, güerita, so caught a lot of attention. My mom too, well dressed, silk shirts, skirts.
Yeah.
And they started meeting everybody in the block, and little by little, people started hanging out. I'm on 51st and Broadway, South Central LA.
Yo, that's like so close to where I grew up.
So it's like between Main and Broadway. So I'm there, and I used to go to the park down to San Pedro. So we met everybody around there. So, but the move it happened. My dad was in rehab.
Okay.
My mom just made the move, and he didn't even know where we were at.
Oh,
so,
you guys fled.
So so that happened, and as we start hanging out, I noticed my mom started drinking heavy. It starts, acting just how my dad was acting, unfortunately. So we moved from one situation to another.
Yeah.
But this situation is far beyond, our control.
Yeah.
Because then you start seeing the same thing: alcoholism, drug use. The guns are coming into play. And I'm with my little brother. I was 10. My little brother's 5. The sister was 13. So still trying to keep that innocence, But cut my hair bald and started walking around. And I used to go to school, 5th grade, 52nd elementary school. So older people were, try to do something to me for no particular reason. I didn't understand it, so kept going. And it got to the point where we started moving from that place because people started acting up. Similar to what happened with my uncles and my dad. People were trying to come in the house when my mother wasn't there. And it was, my sister she looked older.
Yeah.
Even though 14, 15, she looked older. So it was traumatizing at times because you don't have no control of grown people.
Yeah.
And you're right there. So I'm 11. But there was a time when I'm outside talking to a guy, and they pass by, start shooting.
Oh, shit.
My mind is survival mode.
Yeah.
Quickly it changed. That moment, it's a slippery slope, negative after negative after negative. So, I mean, it's just being a kid. It just messes with you.
It does.
Like it really does. Like it really messes with you because you don't. But then you start engaging into the lifestyle.
Unfortunately,
you become addicted to the lifestyle. You turn into something that you don't want to turn into, but it's survival of the fittest.
Yeah, yeah.
So that sped up everything. My bald headed, walking down 51st. My little friends didn't believe me. So they passed by, hanging out with all the gangsters there. Me, being a little kid with grown man.
Yeah.
And they driving me around, but there was always problems, and that's childhood, just being a kid, to like 10, 11, just being sped up, gangs, more violence, but this time it's worse, this is the mid 90s.
Yeah. So right when everything's
happening real bad, and kids, it didn't matter if you were 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
They still go after you. So
I think they go after you more when you're younger because
they can catch the other ones, and they know you're a kid. You're gonna go to the store, but that was my role models because my dad wasn't around.
Right.
So those are the people that I looked up to, and I didn't hesitate. I wasn't scared those times. It was traumatic, but the PTSD didn't kick in right there because being shot at. We moved around after that because it was too much. We moved around.
But you still felt like that was just normal already.
Yeah, you become normal to the abnormal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the abnormal becomes normal in any situation. So you're like, okay, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So moved around, Compton, HP, Watts. That's why I didn't have a steady place, I didn't have a steady group of friends to...
It sucks.
To be like, okay, this is certain people, this is certain people. No. I went to 4 middle schools. Bethune, John Muir, Yonkers. We even left to Chicago for a period of time. But that showed me how they wanted to be on that lifestyle. My mom, my sister, me and my brother were happy.
Yeah.
Happy. came back 13. I don't have anxiety at 13 yet.
Yeah.
They killed one of my friends around the neighborhood on the 80s, Manchester and Maine, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I was with him every day. But when I found out, the anxiety kicked in.
Your same age?
I'm going to 14.
Your friend?
Oh, I'm a little bit older. I always been with people older.
Okay.
Always.
But still,
I don't know why I always, even when I was 11, 12, I was hanging out with 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, they try to teach me the game,
Yeah.
Well, which is good. They were using me for things, If I'm in a car with a bag full of fries, I'm not dumb,
Yeah.
And they giving them to me like, hey, here you go. So, 14 anxiety kicks in so bad that it's not, I can't get out my house because, friends got killed. And then still 15, I'm starting to drink.
No shit.
Like drink, I'm heavy. A couple of friends in probation for gun cases. But we never went to the side of gangs, but it was just, again, survival mode. And I tell people that, you're not from a gang? Nah, man, I'm not from a gang. Yeah, you see how I look.
Yeah.
That's the lifestyle that I was accustomed to and how I was raised.
One thing that I know myself is that you don't necessarily have to be from a gang to do the shit that sometimes people that are not from gangs do shit that people from gangs.
Or maybe worse. Or maybe worse. That's how I felt. But 15 drinking for the problems. More problems leaked out of high school. More shootings, more, and those times I'm engaging because I got tired,
Yeah.
I didn't know I was an angry person. I didn't know I was angry because I never showed it, but I hold it in.
You held it in
I hold it in so much that when I exploded is when I started drinking. Fuck. So the anger came out. But I mean, it was a good release because I needed an outlet.
Right.
Music came as an outlet at 15. So, we competing with each other, kind of took my mind off the streets, but the streets always came back.
They always come looking, huh?
They always came back, so.
Let me ask you, at this point, where was your mom?
She'll be home, but she'll be out. She'll be out and about. I wouldn't be home that much.
Okay.
Because I didn't like her company.
You didn't want to feel.
Yeah, I just, your mom is your first love, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that either. But just seeing all the stuff, I didn't want to be involved,
Sure.
Problems with boyfriends or whatever, I didn't want to be involved. That cost me later on, like a surgery in my hip for getting involved. So, we'll talk about that later. So.
What about your little brother?
I always kept him away.
From your mom?
No, he'll be home. You
kept him away from the streets?
Yeah, he will be in his games and all of that, but as far as hanging out with us, no.
Yeah.
I went through it. Why he has to go through it? And he always used to ask me, hey, what? Nah, you can't go. We do a party at the house. Yeah, you here. Mm-hmm. And I have a picture where he's there, with his little button up,
No.
He was chubby. He's not chubby no more, but so. But yeah, I always protected my brother, but my sister always protected me. So we went hand in hand.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I really didn't look towards my mom. They knew my mom. Everybody knew my mom. Nobody really messed with me like that.
Yeah.
Because they knew the people that she knew, and I never thrived from that power. I never did. Yeah. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do my own things, and it's all on me. It has nothing to do with nobody. Mm-hmm. But by 17, I'm out. I'm out of state.
Where did you go?
With my dad, Washington. I'm out of state.
He found you, or?
Yeah. We were connected, and.
Was it just you, the one that went with your dad, or?
Me and my brother.
Your little brother. Okay.
So we out. I understood then I had a problem. Change the scene, change the scenery, change the environment. No friends, nobody. Mm-hmm. So I knew I had a problem when I'm getting out of work Friday, drinking Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mm. So I was like, okay, you know, I need to get a handle. And plus, I had left a relationship. I was with a girl, she left, and that kind of messed me up. So it's like we go through situations, right?
Yeah.
That situation messed me up. It's the repetitive thoughts, the repetitive things, you know. Like when I seen it as a little kid, you know, they put their emotions on display, their suffering on display. I was doing the same things. So that's the generational trauma comes from.
Yeah.
You mimic the same behavior that you see.
Even if you don't want to, right?
Yeah. And that it was amazing to think about it, but trying to study behind it. Because I dropped out of school. You know, I was working by 17, had my own place by 18. So, but it was amazing how I could think back, but I'm doing the same things. And I don't have the willingness to stop.
Yeah.
Or you know, I didn't build no discipline. My father didn't tell me anything. He just didn't know what to say.
Right, because I'm pretty sure he was going to be like, well, I can't tell him shit because he saw me.
Yeah.
Was he still drinking himself?
No.
Okay, so he had stopped.
Yeah, he had stopped.
Okay. When it came down to your relationship, did you guys break up because of your drinking problem? Did that have anything to do with it, or?
Well, the girl that I was with, she was addicted to another substance.
Okay.
So being with me was sobriety, right? Within that time, because I had my periods of sobriety.
Okay.
She couldn't handle it. She left.
Oh, so it wasn't you weren't partying enough for her.
No, and then Washington is real quiet.
Yeah.
It's nothing like LA. So yeah, you know. But for some reason, I could have done a lot. I saved a lot of money. You know, coming back to LA was just my downfall all over again.
What was the reason that you decided? Because of the relationship? Or?
Yeah, she disappeared.
Okay.
When somebody ghosts you, you're in your feelings, you know?
Oh, yeah. Especially at that age, too, because you don't know, like, necessarily, like
you in love, you just, it takes over. I mean, it's a destructive thing, too.
Yeah.
So, and that's good, because I could go back and apply everything that I've learned for the past 15 months and it's put it out there, because like I tell you, every weekend I'm doing meetings. And it's been 15 months and it still takes a lot to take it out. Every week I'm just like, okay, here we go again.
How long have you been going to these meetings for?
15 months.
15 months. But you know, give yourself a break. And I don't mean like give yourself a break from going. I'm saying like give yourself more credit, because it takes a lot, you know, and you're doing it. So don't, and look at all these years that you gotta take care of.
Yeah, but I mean, 20-year career, I call it, of you know, but starting from 11.
Drinking.
But 11 was semi, you know. But yeah, you know, LA was my downfall coming back again, early 20s. More music though.
Oh yeah.
Music was always, you know.
Because at that time, music was like, everybody was out there rapping.
So I'm still in South Central, and coming out the studio, that's how I got the name. A friend just seen me, he's like, hey, we're gonna call you this. And I'm like, okay, that sounds good, man. This, you know, he told everybody. But then I didn't have the consistency, I didn't have the discipline, I didn't have none of that. It was just drinking, like focusing on the drinking. That was, it's a big step it's a big mountain to climb, to try to climb and get over it.
Yeah.
And you know, mother's still the same behavior. So partying was a little bit too much. You know, bicep parties and you know, doing events and all that.
Did you find yourself partying even more once you started getting into the music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't productive. I wasn't, you know, it was just, even the producers that I paid them in a certain way. It wasn't money, you know, and it took its toll at the time, but around that time is when I got shot. PTSD took over. I never felt that. I mean, I felt all these things before. I never felt PTSD when you dream about the situation back to back for almost a year.
It was haunting you.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I could have got killed. I got hit on my leg. He was aiming up hit the whole car, and still the cops are blaming me. So it's just
typical for the cops to do in LA. Did you go back to South Central or just was somewhere else?
Yeah, South Central. It's just within the same area, 40th and Avalon. And it's just, I didn't know I had all this resentment towards my parents, towards the police, towards my whole situation.
Yeah.
Always saying like, oh, why me? Why me? That's when you put your self-pity on display, and you're giving ammo to these people to bring you even more down. But you don't realize it at the moment. So
yeah. You put it's like victim mentality that you put yourself into.
There you go. So, that happened. He showed me how my sister's like, you messing up. Like, you messing up. Like, what are you doing? This is not you. But I always kept the job. I always was able to come back up from everything that I was doing. It never stopped me. It never, it was a determination that I had, but it wasn't all the way fully good, So, man, as soon as I got shot, I met my baby mother, right? Had the baby a year later. I'm staying away from everybody. I'm in Compton right now. So Compton is another monster,
True.
So I'm around Compton. I'm just, working and excited because having a baby, everything's brand new. Yeah. Everything's brand new. Even you look at the sky, you're like, oh my God, like, okay. My first. And I'm like, wow, like, okay.
Boy or girl?
A girl.
Oh, daddy's girl.
Yeah, so
I
was excited. The first 3 years of her growing, I was okay.
Yeah.
My peace was my daughter. I'm going through something, I go to Compton, lay with my little girl, and everything goes away. Everything disappears. There's no pain, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Just seeing them grow. But for some reason, I got back on drinking. So that's been following me for years.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get over it. I don't know, Then the relationship went bad, real bad. Like, sometimes you can't. Words hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But damn, we just did it too much.
Toxic. Was it caused?
Real toxic.
What caused it?
Drinking.
Yeah. She didn't like your drinking, or she was drinking as well?
Probably both of us, It was just not good. Good moments, bad moments. I don't know why I'll be walking in Compton when she'll kick me out 2, 3 in the morning. That's
Sometimes
dangerous. That was, my sister was like, oh man, something could happen to you. Why are you putting yourself in this situation?
Did you ever, were you drinking when you would do that?
Yeah.
Walk through there? Did you ever think like, at that moment you're just like, fuck it, I want somebody to come out so I could let my anger out on them?
Yeah. Or I wake up with bloody. So
you would black out, you didn't even know what the fuck happened?
Yeah. So
but you know that you just hit somebody or something.
Probably a wall, or I don't know, if I have scratches on my face,
then you know.
So, but I'll make it home. But that was my progression of my drinking. I started progressing at a rapid pace. I'm 27, 28. My daughter's getting older. And she's starting to notice. So that's when hey, Daddy, you drinking? Go to the fridge. Oh, here's a beer. I'm like, that's not. I don't know. It took me back to doing that for my dad.
Did it bring you some kind of shame? Like, I can't do this to my daughter.
That, but shame, guilt, and embarrassment, even when I didn't do nothing wrong, in drinking and waking up with like, you on the constant stress. So that's where the PTSD, the trauma, everything just stacking up. But you don't know. You just in constant. You're like tens. Yeah. You're tens, and that multiplies it. But you think in your brain that it's an outlet. That is okay. I feel good now. You're rewarding yourself with drinking and using and I mean, you know, it's crazy because you thinking that you're going crazy, and you might even say it, or you might even say like, oh, I'm an alcoholic, like it's okay, and like I'm you know, I'm a drink, you know. What else? It's like you telling your own self, you know, it's okay to do this, but now I learned to watch what I say. You know, if I'm waking up, I'm confident, you know, powerful, I'm selfless.
That's right.
You know, and you have to repeat these things because nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna tell you how to do these things. But I mean, working on these things it's amazing, you know. Working within yourself, you know, understanding how you have to take baby steps. Because the beginning of my sobriety was brutal.
Yeah, I bet.
It was brutal, but the relationship part was what took its toll. What the triggers, the anger was just coming out. It was coming out sometimes in the bad times, you know, like bad at the wrong place, wrong time, but you know, throughout my journey of drinking, police always let me go. They always let me go. They always say, you know what, get out of here.
So you didn't get a DUI? Driving,
get out of here. So it was like
somebody was watching over you, like, looking out for you. Is what I mean. You know? Or at least that's what people say. Like,
no, that's what my sister would tell me. Yeah. She's like, "Man, you're lucky," and I would say proudly, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it till my luck runs out." And then you know you got that ego. You have that machismo. That you feel powerful. You know.
You still have a good relationship with your sister?
Yeah, because of her, I'm here.
Really?
Meaning that if it wasn't for her, I'd be in prison right now.
Oh, that hits home. That makes me want to cry because I went through that with my brother, and I'm the oldest, so I would watch over him.
So you understand how it feels. That's why when you told me the date, I'm like, yeah, today she turns 40.
Oh shit! Happy birthday. What's her name?
Jasmine.
Happy birthday. I'm gonna cry.
It's okay. I mean, so I understand that as having my sister as a second mom. That's my second mom. Hands down, she, you know, pandemic happened, right? Pandemic was there all the way. I quit my job, but I was already working in jobs where they don't care if you drink, as long as you get the job done. So
yeah, we all know that kind of construction.
Yeah, construction.
Not all construction. Like, let me take that back. Maybe we could cut that.
Yeah. So she will always talk to me, like trying to knock some sense into me, and I didn't listen.
It's hard.
Went from one year to the other.
And it's not that you don't want to listen. It's just, as a man, and I'm saying this because, like, what my brother went through, right? He would tell me, you don't understand what goes in here and how much I gotta keep inside and how much society expects me not to be a little, you feel me?
But sometimes those things are in our head.
Yeah.
That's what nobody's looking at you. It's just you, those limitations in your head that's what I'm saying. It goes back to you think you're going crazy.
Yeah.
You think you have to keep an image. And that's the same thing that I thought, you know, but it was, the disappointment, you know, through the pandemic, I went, wow.
Well, because drinking, do nothing but drink.
Yeah. So I got the little homies here to go get some more beer. I have my own place, and it's you know, I just noticed how my daughter was kind of backing away from me, and you know, friends dying.
From
gun violence.
Oh.
Overdose. Even as simple as the balloon thing they be doing, the NOS.
Yeah, the NOS.
Another friend died because of that. What messed me up even more is a friend dying in 2020, and then another one dying on 2021 on the same day.
Oh shit.
The same month, the same day. I'm like, what is going on? You know?
Yeah.
Was the message? I started getting unhealthy. You know, I started, breaking out when I eat, like allergies, and I still didn't pay attention. When the moment came when I got in trouble, it was, I don't know what happened, you know.
In trouble how?
Gun charges, drug charges.
Okay.
You know, my house always used to get raided. Over the littlest of things, but this time it was serious, you know. I thrived myself from the cat and mouse game with the police, with the authorities, you know. It was an excitement, you know, because they always try to get me for you know, sometimes for no reason, you know. Even finding baking soda in my house. Oh, we got them. So that built a lot of resentment.
Oh,
a lot of resentment.
It happens, yeah.
And my sister would tell me, hey, you know, calm down, you know. They're not after you. You're just bringing them to you, you know. So that happened, but when I ended up really catching the case, nobody's there. Nobody's there. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, here's $1,000 for your bail, or here's for your lawyer. Nobody. So that's when Big Sister came by and made everything happen, and it was like lined up, you know. Bail, lawyer, but she was still scared of, because she know me, she know how I am, and I wasn't really talking to her. I was just nervous and got out, ankle monitor. I'm ashamed, disappointed, and just like, okay, you know, if she didn't take me out, I would still be in there. So that's why I'm very thankful for this chance too to say my story, because I mean, I say it to other people, but to a bigger audience, it's amazing that I could say it, and hopefully it helps other people, because I mean, man, we have to not just grow, but growth, you know, mental growth, and nobody taught me how to use my anger intelligent, you know, in an intelligent way. Nobody, you know, I had to teach myself these things. Like
you literally just said, hey, that's it. I'm gonna sit down. This is what I gotta do.
Build the willingness to do it. And
how exactly did you do it? Do you mind telling us?
So my sister did everything for me, right? I'm always gonna appreciate that. But I had to go, they made a phone call. Oh, you want to get in the program?
Okay.
I'm like, okay, you know, I'll give it a try. You know, might as well, you know, because my sister's telling me don't drink, don't go buying guns. Cause that was my first thought. You know, you get out, you need to pay off the money back, you know?
Yeah.
That's my first thought. So, but they told me, no, if you do something, it's straight to prison. You know, you're going to go straight to prison. So I had to really humble myself, go to these meetings, and start getting my paper signed. Like 1, 2. But as I'm doing it, it's becoming repetitive. Just how I have that repetitive behavior, I'm working on myself in a repetitive manner, you know, the 12 steps, the building the willingness to do it, the commitment. People don't understand right now that I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to smoke again. I'm never going to use any substance or any drug altering mind thing. Never, you know. Yeah. I made that commitment, but it takes one day at a time for me, you know. Like today, I have to finish off this day, even though it's been 15 months. So, you know, I started going, meeting people, meeting like-minded people. Yeah. That's the most important thing that I got from it, like-minded people, and be willing to put in the work, you know. I never looked, you know, seeing my parent, my dad, you know, my uncles in the rehab, I never paid attention to what it took, like the unity, recovery and service.
Yeah. Did your dad ever talk to you about that? Like once you started with your recovery?
No.
Have you guys ever had a conversation, or do you think you're ever going to have that conversation with him?
No. He still has the same
mentality?
Yeah. Of overstressing. Overstressing, living in the past. That's the most important thing. I need to let go of the past.
It's hard. It's that dark shadow work that you have to do within yourself. Oh, you're gonna cry. Cause I'm going through it. I think that's why I'm such a crybaby, honestly.
I cried enough. I cried enough. But
you can cry somewhat, just a little bit, but it's gonna be good tears, cause you gotta let it out.
No, but that's why I'm glad that you understand my story.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I'm grateful every single day. Now, like they say, when you facing failure, you pray to God, right?
Yeah.
When you hit rock bottom, you're gonna call to God. Well, how about we all start to put God first in everything, even when you're not doing bad, even when you doing good every single day.
Yeah.
That's one thing that me and my sister, we have that connection. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that connection is strong right now. And she understands, and I'm teaching her as I go too, and she's teaching me too.
That's good.
So it's like I said, my second mom.
Did she ever pick up drinking at all?
She quit. She, within the first, I was 13. She was like 16. Mm-hmm. By 17, 18, she quit.
She was like
so from that all the way to right now, it's more than 20 years.
No, so that's you know what? Congratulations to both of you, because it takes a lot to make that first step and say we're breaking this generational curse right here. Yeah,
because you come from my generation. I'm in my 30s.
I'm older than you. I'm older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might be your sister's age.
But we used to get disciplined in a bad way.
Oh yeah.
I think that gave me and my sister the blueprint of how to raise our children. Strict discipline, but nothing that's, violent,
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like,
because that's one thing that I tell my daughter, like, man, if you will see how they used to do us, you'll be no patience, no nothing.
So you find yourself actually talking to your daughter, like communicating. How is she? Like, as growing up, like, she's been a...
she would ask me, oh, is everything okay? Because the internet is another monster. The internet is another addiction. The phones, the level of information is just outstanding, that people think, oh, only because I see this on the internet, I'm going to get better. Nah, you got to put in the work.
You do.
But as far as my daughter, she be concerned. So it took me back to how I used to feel when I used to see my parents.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking she feels the same way. I gave her the book of Escalating, it explains everything. Mm-hmm. But now she's 12, so I'm telling her what you want to do. You need to start right now. Have your plans and your goals, a definite plan and a goal to whatever you want to do in life. I support you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't have that kind of support.
Yeah.
And I was self-taught, music, but everything happened for a reason. Everything, all the darkness that I had to go through. Now I'm shining.
That's right.
Now it's just, I feel it in my heart. I feel it everywhere. When I wake up, it's just that shine that's there. It's not gonna go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
So just how you reach out to me, and I was just sitting there about to ask you, you sent me the message. I'm like, okay, I'm in tune. I'm in tune with something greater than myself.
You're manifesting it.
Yes, which is God. And many people, they might ask me, I'm here for everybody. I'm here for whoever needs that opportunity to get sober. Mm-hmm. I have the resources just like you do. Yeah. And I have the places that I go to. I know the people. Mm-hmm. When I was in the ankle monitor for a year, with Project 180, it taught me a lot. Mm-hmm. It's more than behavioral modification. It's more than that. Mm-hmm. It's more than that. If they ever ask me how, is how it spells honesty, open mind, and willingness. Mm-hmm. That's how I did it. That's how, I'm able to stay sober and separate myself from, people, places, things,
A lot of people want to turn their head the other way when it comes down to going to a program, right? Because they're like, oh, it's the same shit, and they just but that's because they're not ready to take that step.
That's a leap of faith.
Yeah,
it takes all of you. You know, it takes all. But you know, you have to understand that it's you from within.
Yeah.
It's not. I put God first, my sobriety second. That's how important it is. My sobriety second, because you know I made promises to my daughter. I made promises to, I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop doing this, and it never happened.
Yeah.
So it's for you. It's not for nobody else. It's for yourself. And you know, you have to conquer yourself. And I never understood that. I'm like, conquer myself. Yeah, I'm not saying demons. I'm gonna conquer myself and be able to understand how to live peacefully. Now I'm able to wake up and I'm peaceful all the way.
Would you say that going to this program is what helped you a lot more to?
Don't find a way, but it's also a spiritual experience, you know, for me, because just like I told you, all these bad things could have happened and they didn't.
Yeah.
So what's beyond that? I mean, you know. Because behavioral modification, it just didn't sound good to me. It sounds more scientific. I was thinking more, okay, there's other ways, you know. But that I mean, will work for me, might not work for others.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just, if I tell people, it's an open mind, because within doing the program and being sentenced, no jail time, no nothing. They removed my ankle monitor. You know, stays as a felony, no strike. That's how severe it was. It could have racked up to attempted murder, but they didn't. You know, so it was serious. You know, I was on the edge of either death, prison, or insanity. You know, I was on the edge already, about to jump off, and for the grace of God, I'm still here. And within those moments, I had a friend pushing me, hey, get back to rapping, get back to this music, stop playing around. Did you write something, my boy? and even my first time in the studio back last year, October, November, I felt like I was burning from the inside. I was like, whoa. It's because sobriety, everything's brand new.
Okay.
Sobriety is even from food and waking up but you know, the whole mind, body, and soul thing is a threefold nature. You know, you're gonna go through the body first. You're gonna go through your mental state, spiritual state, as in your sobriety. You know, I felt that I had to go to the doctor. You know, because I didn't feel good. Because when I decided to quit, it was everything.
Cold turkey.
Yep. What? And that's.
I heard you could actually get really sick from that. You could even.
I had vertigo.
No shit.
Vertigo, shakes, night sweats. I couldn't sleep, insomnia, and I still go to work. Any
kind of damage to your liver?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I used to drink a lot of beet juice, so that kind of helped me. But unfortunately, a lot of friends didn't make it to 50. For what you're telling me, a lot of friends, fatty liver, cirrhosis.
Yeah.
And that didn't stop me from drinking. You know, it took me to. It started in that jail cell. You know, being locked 24-hour lockdown for 5-6 days. Yeah, to really sit there and look at my charges and look at how high the bail was, I'm like, wow, like, I ran out of luck. But you know, I had that chance with my sister. My sister's just.
You're just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna take no more chances like that.
No, I can't do it. I can't, you know.
Yeah.
But now, you know, I'm engaging more with the community. I'm close to downtown, so. Either that or go to Cover City with the center that I go to. But you tell me it might be overwhelming, right? To keep doing it. It was overwhelming when I started. It was uncomfortable when I started. It was too much. And even one of the guys in the anger management was like, well, damn, like how do you feel? You go into courts, ankle monitor, 2AA, anger management. How do you? I just have to do it. I just have to see, you know, have that growth within me, you know?
Yeah.
And then the part of the service is you got to give it away. You doing this it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
I have a big responsibility. It's greater now. It's people might say, oh, the music contradicts it, but I'm just doing entertainment now. Mm-hmm. I'm not. You can't be 50-50, you know.
Yeah.
One foot in, one foot out. You know, you can't do it. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't. But I can't do it.
When it comes down to your music, what kind of rap is it?
It could be gangster rap, you know.
Okay.
You know, past experiences. But in the way that in my creative process, I try to throw little motivational things.
That's good.
Within, you know.
Yeah.
Like one door closes, four more open, you know. It's just my process. So the things that I embrace from the neighborhood, you know. I try to throw little things, mix it with the other. I mean, I'm eventually gonna change it. I'm eventually gonna do motivational music, and you know. But right now,
but honestly, I think it's good to share in your songs your past experience. Yeah. I'm not talking about like, hey, bitches and titties and ass and all this shit.
No,
you know?
Yeah.
If you want to talk about it, fine. But I'm just saying, like, you know. I wanted to ask you, would you be down to like show us a little something about how you flow? Yeah?
I can show you a little something.
All right, let's do this shit.
Yeah, I wrote this song a few years back when I was having a hard time. Man, I'm dug in with this ghetto poetry. I'm alive, searching for a meaning in the streets. I'm getting older, bolder, with the weight of the world on my shoulders. Life is a song and love is the music. It unites us as human beings, don't misuse it. So I'm expressing how I feel today. Many ordeals made me strong to this day. Never fall or complain, just remember that the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Your homeboy that pushed you to continue with your music. Shout out to the homeboy.
Shout out to the homeboy.
Oh, he's right here. Hey, that's right. Oh, that's fucking tight.
Yeah, but it just shows you how making a big change like that could change your whole. It's a new design of living. But you got to be able to embrace it. You got to be able to fully commit to it and be able to understand it. Pray for understanding and guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, the best word that I could say for myself is, "Thy will be done." I read that in the book, in the AA book, Big Blue book. Thy will be done. Like, no matter what you're going through in life, Thy will be done. It's not mine. I'm not in control of this, you know. But I'ma put everything in God first and see where it goes. If it didn't work out, oh well, we move on to the next.
This is the second time I heard that.
Yeah. So Thy will be done. So, because that's what I tell my dad. You know, I told my sister, tell my dad, you know. Don't stay stuck in the past.
Yeah.
The past would just bring back the resentment of everything, or the whole behaviors and everything.
Yeah.
So it's just dragging you on, and you know it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It keeps you in that mental prison.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And you know, right now the music is getting better. The music, and I'm getting comfortable, but I don't want to do it by myself. You know, I put my brother and I talk to other friends. Come on, man, come to the studio.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable in the studio now, and it's just.
So your homie, he raps too?
No, he manages the music.
That's good. How long have you guys known each other?
Going to 2 years.
No shit. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So it's like you could deal with people for years and.
Oh yeah.
And not go anywhere, and you could deal with one person, and man.
You meet him and then you're just like, what? Where you been my whole life, fool? Like, I'm over here fucking struggling, man. I could have had you.
yeah, but you know, I just didn't know he was doing that at the time.
Okay.
He had mentioned it, and then I heard a beat. I heard, you know, I started doing my creative. Like I said, just brand new, doing music sober.
Yeah.
So I used to be in the studio loaded.
Yeah.
And not finished nothing. And
I was about to ask you that. Did that ever come between, like,
the creative process? Yeah, because think about it. Alcohol and weed, it's destructive in a way. Creatively, you're not gonna be able to write. Creatively, it's gonna stop. But you know, I'm going back to the basics now. Books. Like, you know, even if I commute to work, you know, I see everybody on their phone. I got a book.
Nice.
I got a book, and I'm going through it. Let her process it and keep going. and I pass the books around.
Favorite book?
As a Man Thinketh. As a Man Thinketh. That's the first book that changed my mindset.
Yeah.
I'm sobriety. I mean, also the recovery book, but you could get As a Woman Thinketh. You know, I gave it to my sister. I'm like, read this. You know, it's more about your thought process. You know, and you know, and it's truth. You know, at the end, it's you. You know, how you gonna process your thoughts. How I tell my daughter now, be positive every day.
Have you ever read the 4 agreements for arrangements, something like that? I'm gonna get you the right name of it, but I read that book and it's like it talks about the same thing. Your thought process. Look into it. I'm gonna send it to you. Not the book, but the name.
Yeah. So you know, I'm into studying a lot. You know, the brain process, the chemical imbalances, So, I mean, who would have known that me getting sober will open up so much knowledge?
Hey, have you ever thought about becoming a counselor?
Oh, okay, now you brought that up.
All right.
I'm working on becoming a sponsor.
A sponsor?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going through the steps, going through the book. That's why when I go to a meeting, I stay an extra hour. And it doesn't bother me, you know. I'm going through it, and I'm able to speak to my sponsor, and they knew I was going to be here.
And what they said?
Yeah, they're like, oh man, go do it. You know, go share a little bit of you know, what you learned from the past 15 months. And I'm like, okay, you know, I could do that. And but yeah, work as a sponsor. I mean, I never seen myself.
Is it kind of like, you know, does it go hand in hand with becoming a?
Yeah, but you become a service.
Okay.
In order to stay sober, I have to keep doing the work. Right. And I mean, I don't know what joy they feel of seeing me sober and it happen. You know, I want to feel that, you know, of helping somebody and they become sober. I mean, I'm patiently waiting because he told me once you get to a certain part of the book, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and I'm going to have to, the same work that he's doing with me, I have to do it with another person. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe that might bring up a job or counselor. I wanted to do that since I was young because I used to work in a school. But it never came. I never fully committed to it, you know. So, but right now I'm committed to becoming a sponsor and continue to work with other people. But so you think it'll be like a stepping stone for you to become an actual counselor? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind, you know, helping others. I mean, that's the key, you know. Yeah. That's the key of becoming selfless, you know. That's, you know, that was a big example for my sister to do it. Yeah. And I know you, like you said, you had your experience with your brother. Yeah. And it's hard, you know. It takes its toll. Yeah. It takes its toll on the whole family, and you know, I didn't understand it at first, how I used to worry about my uncles. Yeah. My nieces and nephews used to worry about me. It was the same scenario. So, I mean, I'm glad we putting a stop to it. Okay, so does your sister have any kids? Yeah. And completely different? Yeah, they weren't raised like us. Yeah. But we tell them the stories. Yeah, they're probably we tell them the story, they're like, oh man, they're like, how, you know, because in that lifestyle, we were around, you know, gang members, but right in the trenches, right in different parts, you know. It was never just one neighborhood. Yeah. It was different ones, you know. And they knew, but my sister didn't care. She, you know, but I mean, she stopped all of that, and I continue. But it's all right, because now you're just in a completely different, yeah. I mean, I recovered, you know. Yeah. I recovered from my state of hopelessness, and I mean, and it feels good. It feels good. I'm still working through it, you know. I'm still, when I first start to talk, it takes me back, but then I was like, okay, I get comfortable. Little by little, it starts going away, right? It starts going away, and I'm able to share it. I'm able to, you know, to reach to other people. That's the main reason of me being here. Yeah. I want to reach to other people, and
Thank you for accepting to come too. I was like, oh man, I wanted to ask you like right away off the bat. I always be like, hey, but sometimes people are like, oh nah, you know what? Like I'm not ready for all that. Honestly, they've told me that, and I'm just.
No, I wasn't ready.
You'll be ready soon. You go come looking for me. I'm kidding.
No, but I wasn't ready. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like,
yeah. And I told you think about it. You let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. So, but then when you set the date, I'm like, it's my sister's birthday. I mean, wow, I can't.
It's a sign right there.
Yeah, it's a sign right there.
Yeah. Did she know that you were coming?
Yeah.
What'd she think? She must be proud of you.
I give her a hug, and I'm like, tell her happy birthday, and send money to my daughter to get her a gift. And, you know, they're out there, you know, eating right now. But yeah, she's like, good luck, you know, and whatever you're doing in life. And you know, and it's good. It's a good feeling that she's still there, and she's always going to be there.
She is always going to be there.
Yeah.
You're pretty much her baby. Trust me. It's like, I know the feeling where you're just like, you motherfucker, where you gonna get it? But then, you know, when they do something good, you're just like, see, I love you. Oh man, I'm gonna cry again. My brother meant everything to me, so I could relate to your sister, you know?
Yeah, so that's why my recovery was vital to you know, because I can't go back.
Yeah.
You know, if I do the mistake and go back, it's you know, it's gonna be bad. So why even try it? Why even test my sobriety?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people could do whatever they want, you know, to each his own. But nah, man, I know how it affects my sister, it affects others. But I had to understand how it affected me first. So
yeah. Let me ask you back to your music. Anything coming out?
Well, you know, I have this 2 singles right now out.
What are they called?
The 4 Doors and the Real Hood. They're out right now in all platforms. May 11th is the full project. You know, I called it Just Me. I have the pictures. My mom, me when I was little. And I don't know how the producer put my friend that passed away also.
Really?
Without knowing. And my sister's on it.
That's dope.
My sister's right there, you know, where, you know, you guys gonna see it. And me, when I was younger, probably like 16, 17, which I always look older than my age. So, but you know, it's Just Me, May 11th, little EP track, 5 songs, plus the 2 singles, and still writing and still seeing, you know, pushing my little brother out too.
He raps too?
Yeah, he raps.
That's dope. That's dope.
I didn't know that I had that much influence on him for him to start.
That's dope.
Start rapping. So, and yeah, you know, he's always been around, and I don't mind helping him. So yeah, those are the projects, and working on clothes, working on different things. You know.
You have a clothing line?
Yeah, but working on it. Working on it. And
do you have a name for it yet?
Well, first is the names. You know, I'm still educating myself about the brands and see what's next. LLCs and you know, it's a lot of work.
I can give you some of that information because I just learned some of that too myself.
Yeah, so you know, we got to be consciously money conscious, you know.
Yeah. Because
but investing in yourself. I mean, before we wouldn't really invest in ourselves, right?
Never.
You know, but I mean, starting an LLC, it does a lot of good things for your taxes, tax write-offs, and you know. But I'm educating myself. I mean, who would have knew I'd be, you know, thinking. I always thought about businesses, but not to that extent, you know. Yeah. So you know, branding, the LLC for the independent label, and also management. You know, artist development. That's what I'm doing with my brother. That's what my friend was doing with me. But since I already had years, it clicked back. Like, okay, you know, let me, you know, it's a lot of little details that it's work. It's 9 to 5. So if you have a job and you want to do all this, it takes a lot. It
really does.
But you know, consistency is the key.
Yeah.
So I just have a lot of books right now. So I'm going through them, and I'm still in recovery. So you know, it's overwhelming at times, but it's okay. It's okay because what I was doing, was different. What I went through was different.
Well, it's like chaotic, but in a good way, you know? Because now stress. It's like, this is my life, you know? Sometimes you just sit there and I'm like, man, I'm doing this shit, like for real.
Yep. Like, you know.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, look at you. You know, when I first seen Making Changes, and you know, Hertz Media also, I was like, okay, you know, this is going somewhere. You know, I want to be a part of it, and now I'm here. You know, You know, and if you continue to go, I mean, hopefully there's more educated people than me that are going through the same process, or probably beyond that. Maybe a year from now it'll be different, you know. But I mean, I'm gonna continue to put in the work. I mean, it's work, but I'm applying the same thing that I use to get sober into the business.
That's good.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Financial things that I'm reading towards the recovery is the same that I'm using for you know, to start a business, to everything. It's just everything's connected. That's why I was like, okay, why is everything connected? You know, everything's connected. So I'm in tune with everything right now. So
yeah, that's dope. I want to thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I wanted to see if you could just let us know names, you know, all your social media. If you could share that with us so people can follow you.
It's IG, Instagram, Brown_Doug, THUG_LA. So you guys can reach me out there, and also if anybody is suffering from an addiction, alcoholism, feel free to reach out to me, and I have the resources. You know, I know it's a big step to do, but man, if I did it, I know that, you know, I could show everybody that sobriety is possible. I mean, man, I'm here. You know, like they tell me, I'm a walking miracle. So, man, it feels good to give it a try. So, yeah, you know, feel free to reach out.
So on music, are you on Spotify, all that?
Boy, it comes out on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify.
And just as long as they check, it's Brown.
Yeah, Brown Thug.
_.
No, but it was just the name, Brown Thug.
Brown Thug. Okay.
And you know, it's on all platforms. Have some motivational music coming out also. So yeah, so that's all I got for this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again. I really appreciate it. I was really excited for this. You guys, this was Making Changes.